Welcome to our deep dive into the 10 cities around the world that have become so astronomically expensive that only millionaires can comfortably afford to live there. These are places where the cost of living, particularly housing, has skyrocketed, driven by wealth concentration, global investment, and economic shifts. We're talking about cities where the average person struggles to keep up, and even those with above-average incomes are being squeezed out. Using data from reports like Henley & Partners' Wealthiest Cities Report and other reliable sources, we'll explore why these cities have become playgrounds for the ultra-wealthy, what's driving their insane costs, and what this means for everyone else. Let's start with New York City, the financial capital of the world and the city with the highest number of millionaires, 384,500 to be exact, along with 818 centimillionaires and 66 billionaires. The Big Apple's wealth is staggering, with a combined resident wealth exceeding $3 trillion. Why is it so expensive? Manhattan's real estate market is a beast. High-end apartments in neighborhoods like the Upper East Side or Tribeca routinely sell for tens of millions, with prices per square meter often exceeding $20,000. The demand comes from Wall Street tycoons, tech entrepreneurs, and international investors who see New York as a safe bet for parking their wealth. Over the past decade, the city's millionaire population has grown by 45%, fueled by a booming stock market and the city's status as a global business hub. But this wealth concentration has a dark side. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan hovers around $4,500 a month, and buying a modest home can easily cost over $1 million. For teachers, nurses, or even mid-level professionals, home ownership is a pipe dream, and many are forced to commute from far-flung suburbs or neighboring states. Gentrification has transformed neighborhoods like Brooklyn and Queens, once affordable, into luxury enclaves, pushing out longtime residents. New York's allure as a cultural and financial powerhouse keeps the wealthy coming, but for everyone else, it's a constant hustle just to survive. Next up is the Bay Area, encompassing San Francisco and Silicon Valley, home to 342,400 millionaires and 82 billionaires. This region has seen a jaw-dropping 98% growth in its millionaire population over the last decade, largely because it's the epicenter of tech wealth. Companies like Apple, Google, and Meta have created a flood of millionaires through stock options and IPOs. But this tech boom has made the Bay Area unlivable for most. The median home price in San Francisco is around $1.4 million, and in Palo Alto, it's closer to $3 million. Renting isn't much better. A one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco averages $3,500 a month. The tech industry's dominance has driven up costs across the board, from housing to groceries, as high-paid engineers and executives compete for limited space. Meanwhile, teachers and service workers are often forced into long commutes or shared living situations. The Bay Area's wealth isn't just about tech, though. Foreign investors, particularly from Asia, have poured money into real estate, further inflating prices. The result? A region where even a six-figure salary feels like pocket change, and only the ultra-wealthy can live comfortably without financial strain. Moving across the Pacific, we have Tokyo, ranking third with 305,700 millionaires. Japan's capital is a global financial powerhouse, with a real estate market that's among the priciest in the world. In central districts like Minato or Chiyoda, apartments can cost $10,000 per square meter or more. Tokyo's wealth is driven by its role as a hub for finance, technology, and manufacturing, with companies like Toyota and Sony headquartered nearby. The city's strict zoning laws and limited land availability exacerbate the housing crunch, making even modest apartments unaffordable for most. A typical one-bedroom in central Tokyo rents for around $2,000 a month, but that's often for a space smaller than 500 square feet. The city's high cost of living extends beyond housing. Dining, transportation, and even basic groceries are pricey. Yet, Tokyo's appeal as a safe, clean, and highly efficient metropolis keeps attracting wealthy residents, including international investors seeking stable assets. For the average worker, though, salaries haven't kept pace with costs. forcing many into cramped living conditions or long commutes from the suburbs. The city's wealth concentration is stark, with millionaires and billionaires dominating the most desirable areas, while others struggle to stay afloat. Singapore comes in fourth, with 258,100 millionaires, and a reputation as one of Asia's glitziest cities. This city-state is a magnet for the ultra-wealthy, thanks to its low taxes, business-friendly environment, and strategic location. High-end condos in areas like Marina Bay or Orchard Road can cost $15,000 per square meter, and luxury homes often sell for tens of millions. Singapore's government actively courts wealthy foreigners through investment visa programs, which has boosted its millionaire population by 64% over the past decade. The cost of living here is brutal. Rent for a one-bedroom in the city center averages $3,000 a month, and owning a car requires a permit that can cost as much as $80,000 before you even buy the vehicle. Everyday expenses, from dining to education, are among the highest globally. Singapore's wealth is also tied to its status as a financial hub, with banks and hedge funds drawing in global elites. For non-millionaires, life in Singapore means squeezing into tiny apartments or public housing, which, while well-maintained, is increasingly out of reach for younger generations. The city's hyper-modern infrastructure and stability make it a haven for the rich, but for everyone else, it's a constant financial juggle. Los Angeles, fifth on the list, is home to 235,200 millionaires and 43 billionaires. The City of Angels has long been synonymous with wealth, thanks to Hollywood, real estate, and a growing tech scene. Neighborhoods like Beverly Hills and Bel Air are playgrounds for the ultra-rich, where mansions routinely sell for $20 million or more. The median home price in LA County is around $900,000, but in desirable areas, it's easily double that. Renting isn't much relief. A one-bedroom in West Hollywood or Santa Monica can cost $3,000 a month. The city's economy thrives on entertainment, tech startups, and international investment, particularly from Asia and the Middle East. Over the past decade, LA's millionaire population has grown by 35%, but this wealth hasn't trickled down. Service workers, teachers, and even some professionals struggle to afford basic housing, often living paycheck to paycheck or moving to cheaper suburbs like the Inland Empire. LA's glitz and glamour continue to draw the wealthy, but for most residents, the dream of living comfortably in the city is fading fast. London, despite dropping to sixth place with 227,000 millionaires, remains a global wealth hub. The city lost 11,300 millionaires over the past decade, a 12% decline due to factors like Brexit, a tougher tax environment, and competition from emerging wealth hubs. Still, London's real estate market is one of the most expensive in the world, with prime properties in Mayfair or Kensington selling for $30,000 per square meter or more. The average home price in central London is around $1.2 million, and rents for a one-bedroom in desirable areas start at $2,500 a month. London's status as a financial and cultural capital keeps it attractive to millionaires, particularly from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. However, the city's high costs are pushing out middle-class residents, with many young professionals unable to afford rent, let alone buy a home. Gentrification has transformed neighborhoods like Shoreditch and Hackney, once gritty, into luxury hotspots. For non-millionaires, London's charm comes at a steep price, with many forced into long commutes or shared housing to make ends meet. Paris, seventh on the list, is the wealthiest city in mainland Europe, with 165,200 millionaires. The City of Light is a magnet for the global elite, thanks to its cultural cachet, luxury industries, and strong financial sector. Properties in arrondissements like the 8th or 16th can cost $20,000 per square meter, and the average home price in Paris is around $700,000. Renting a one-bedroom in the city center averages $2,000 a month, but that's often for a small historic apartment. Paris's wealth is driven by industries like fashion, finance, and tourism, as well as its appeal to international investors. The city's golden visa programs have also attracted wealthy foreigners, boosting its millionaire population. However, for the average Parisian, life is increasingly unaffordable. Salaries haven't kept up with rising costs, and many residents are pushed to the suburbs or beyond. Paris's charm and prestige keep the wealthy coming, but for everyone else, the cost of living is a constant struggle, with even basic expenses like dining or transportation eating into budgets. Hong Kong, 8th on the list, has 154,900 millionaires and a reputation for sky-high real estate prices. This financial hub is one of the most expensive cities in the world, with apartments in areas like the peak or mid-levels costing $25,000 per square meter or more. The average home price is around $1.3 million, and even tiny apartments of 300 square feet can cost $500,000. Renting a one-bedroom in central Hong Kong averages $2,500 a month, but many residents live in even smaller, nano flats. Hong Kong's wealth is driven by its role as a gateway to Asia's markets, with finance, trade, and real estate dominating the economy. The city's low taxes and business-friendly policies attract millionaires from mainland China and beyond, but the cost of living is crushing for most. Overcrowding, limited land, and speculative investment have made housing unattainable for the average worker. Many young people live with their parents well into their 30s, unable to afford independence. Hong Kong's glitzy skyline hides a stark reality. Only the ultra-wealthy can live comfortably here. Sydney, 9th on the list, boasts 152,900 millionaires and a laid-back yet luxurious lifestyle. Australia's largest city has seen its real estate market explode, with median home prices around 1 million AU, about 650,000 US. In exclusive suburbs like Point Piper or Vaucluse, homes can sell for $20 million or more. Renting a one-bedroom in Sydney's city centre costs around $2,000 a month. The city's wealth comes from finance, tech, and its appeal as a lifestyle destination for the global elite. Sydney's beaches, climate, and proximity to Asia make it a magnet for millionaires, particularly from China and Southeast Asia. Over the past decade, its millionaire population has grown by 28%. But this has widened the affordability gap. Teachers, nurses, and even tech workers struggle to buy homes, with many priced out to the city's outer suburbs. Sydney's high quality of life is reserved for those with deep pockets, leaving the average resident grappling with soaring costs. Rounding out the top 10 is Chicago, with 127,100 millionaires. The Windy City is a financial and industrial hub with a real estate market that's become increasingly unaffordable. Median home prices in Chicago are around $350,000, but in upscale neighborhoods like Lincoln Park or the Gold Coast, prices easily exceed $1 million. Renting a one-bedroom downtown averages $2,000 a month. Chicago's wealth is driven by its strong economy, with industries like finance, manufacturing, and tech attracting high-net-worth individuals. The city's millionaire population has grown by 24% over the past decade, but this has come at a cost. Gentrification has transformed areas like Wicker Park, pushing out lower-income residents. For the average Chicagoan, home ownership is increasingly out of reach, and even renting requires a significant chunk of income. The city's vibrant culture and economic opportunities keep the wealthy coming, but for most, the cost of living is a constant hurdle. These 10 cities, New York, the Bay Area, Tokyo, Singapore, Los Angeles, London, Paris, Hong Kong, Sydney, and Chicago, represent the pinnacle of global wealth concentration. Each has its own unique drivers, from tech and finance to cultural prestige and strategic location, but they share a common thread. Their costs have soared to levels that exclude all but the wealthiest. The data from Henley & Partners shows that these cities are home to a disproportionate number of millionaires, centimillionaires, and billionaires, with their populations growing faster than ever. Over the past decade, wealth has tripled globally, and much of it is concentrated in these urban hubs. But this comes at a price. Housing shortages, speculative investment, and gentrification have made these cities unlivable for the average person, creating stark divides between the haves and have-nots. So there you have it, the 10 cities that have priced out everyone except millionaires. From New York's towering skyscrapers to Tokyo's neon-lit streets, these places are the epitome of wealth and ambition. but they're also a stark reminder of growing inequality. If you're not a millionaire, don't despair. There are still plenty of vibrant, affordable cities out there. But for now, these 10 remain the playgrounds of the ultra-rich, where the cost of entry is a 7-figure net worth or higher. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the world's priciest cities. If you enjoyed this deep dive, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.